let's continue with power theories. So we are done with the theories of state, and I want you to understand one thing, that we will only be talking about in two contexts. One is the elite, and one will be a plural sense. So see, you can always try to form analogies. Like when we say pluralist, plural means multiple, elite means some. So you have to make some kind of analogies to retain these words. Because see, in this whole of political theories, we will be doing what basically is understanding words. Words are nothing but codes. One word, let's say, if I say liberalism, then this word itself should have all the meaning in it. You just need to decode it part by part. So, what your way should be, that you understand what the word means. Do not be vague. Do not be vague कि भाई ये होता होगा. It is like freedom, or let's say no border, something like that. No, don't be vague. Very precisely you try to understand that. And when you understand that, try to see the pictures of the, let's say, scholars. When you understand the pictures of the scholars, you make a map, a mind map in your brain, so that you recollect which philosopher you have to, or which scholar you have need to tag with your answer description. So going ahead with power, understand why we are going with power now, because state का काम क्या है. If you think about it, state is the regulatory body. Let's say you have SEBI or SEBI, however you pronounce, or let's say RBI. They are regulating bodies. It will be regulating banks and let's say your financial transaction, and SEBI will be regulating your, let's say, markets, bond market, share markets, etc. Now understand what is going to happen with power, who is going to control or regulate power. So state का ambit में this comes. State will be regulating power. Who needs to have more power? Who can have more power? What are the ways? What is the procedure to obtain that power? Okay. One more point that I want to emphasize upon is, when we were talking about state theories, we did not go over feminism. Because when we see, feminism never talks about state. First thing you have to understand, the feminist theories, they are never about state. What they actually talk about is power. They talk about power only directly. And what is their way? Their structure is not like the, let's say, Marxist structure, that we have a economic base on which superstructure is based upon. No, they do not go like that. For them, patriarchy patriarchy is the core base over which all the other bases, superstructures are functioning. And what is the tool of that patriarchy is state. So they talk about state in that regard. For them, for feminist theories, the state will just be a tool of patriarchy. Okay. Now what will be the agenda of patriarchy? Subjugation of women. As simple as that. Now there are liberal theories of power, there are Marxist theories of power, or at least you can say their version. See, they are just viewpoint. It is like सिक्के का एक पहलू. Power इनके लिए कुछ होता है, इनके लिए कुछ होता है. Then we will go on with elitist theory of power and pluralist theory of power. What is the difference? The difference is कि who is having power. For liberals, the power will lie with the people. Now this is very very absurd. At same time, as you can say, see, what is Marxism, or let's say or communism is guilty of, कि भैया too much egalitarian they are too much स्वर्गवासी वाली बातें हैं. But do you think liberalism is not like that? Think about it again. Power lies with people. कहाँ देखा है ये तुमने? rickshaw wala, farmer, do you think they have power? No, they are powerless people. That is why they are vulnerable. Who is vulnerable? Vulnerable is that section of society who does not have enough power. Let's say a transgender. What power do they have? They have no power. That is why they were vulnerable section. Or let's say your PBTGs. They do not have power. Not even your technical power or intellectual power. So, see, power is a very vague concept. It is a philosophical idea. Okay, it is not a real material thing that you can just see and say, "Ke bhaiya, this has power or this is power." No, what you will feel is its implementation. If it is being used, if it is being exercised, you will feel power. So, what is one core, let's say, what is one core feature of power? That it is always exercised. It cannot be stored. It cannot be stored in a bottle. Ke bhaiya, I will use some power later on. You cannot form a SIP like you do. You cannot borrow power. You cannot do that. You always exercise power. And one more thing is that you always have to snatch power. Nobody will give you power. Nobody does that. You will always have to snatch power. This is almost always same whether you are talking about liberal or Marxist or elitist or pluralist. The mechanism of snatching the power will change if you have democracy, let's say. Then the mechanism of snatching the power will change. What will the mechanism? Mechanism will be elections. Not just any kind of elections, they will be periodical elections. For us, let's say 5 years, every 5 years we have elections. Similarly, let's say if you are some king or let's say some dictator, then there are ways, different ways. You will have to eliminate some few people, you will have to eliminate the royal family. But then again, it is only the same. The only similarity that everybody has regarding power is that it has to be snatched and it always needs to be exercised. It cannot be stored. Then, when we talk about Marxist, for them the power lies with the propertied class. Now that makes complete sense. That is why I said this is not completely utter rubbish. It is not. Yes, Lenin can be called as the culprit or guilty of destroying Marxism. When you change something to such a value that it did not adhere to initially, almost always, the value system is going to be changed. The perception is going to be changed. The whole discourse is going to be changed around it. Now, Marxism was one which was able to change the liberal discourse, make it more humane. If you remember what we did, utilitarianism, Pick's philosophy, liberal values shifted and they started incorporating social values. Why was that needed? Because they were fearful of the ideas that Marxism was proclaiming. Now, obviously, power lying with the people is very egalitarian. Almost always, propertied class will be having power, and that we can say we will go through when we do C.W. Mills or any other scholar in future when we'll do democracy. Now, when we go for socialism, understand socialism comes very much similar, same, or let's say very much aligned with the liberal values where power lies with the people. So if you remember what we did in the discourse of Marxism, the first step will be the violent revolution. After that comes socialism. And when socialism comes, who will be having power? Who will be in command of the state? The workers will be in command of the state. Now workers are majority, remember. And eventually what will happen is the difference between The workers and the capitalists will keep on reducing to such an extent that there will be no class distinction, there will be no classes. And when that happens, when there will be no classes, there will be no need of state. Because what is the, let's say, prerogative of state? To make sure कि भैया workers and capitalism के बीच में, they come in between and sort things out. Now if there are no workers and capitalists, there is no requirement of the state. Similarly, when we go for the elitist theories of power, I will tell you the trick. You just always remember elite means leader. As simple as that. So power lies with the elites. Let's say Germany. Power lies with Hitler, leader. Power in India lies with Modi, leader. Basically, what from leader I mean is you should have a orator skill. You should have a command over playing with the emotions of the people. You should have a mass appeal to you. In United States, if you think about it, the coming of Donald Trump. Who is Donald Trump? He's a very rich elite, educated elite, and he has a way with people. He says America first, and people go, "Whoa, Trump." So power lies with elite. In United States, it is very much true. In India, also, it is very much true. Even before Trump, if you think Obama, Harvard educated. Before that, George W. Bush. Now, Bush is a very coming from a very affluent family. His father also was a president. Before that, Clinton also. So these are very top families. They are the Gandhi families of America. And when we go for pluralist view, here they just add two things, that is pressure and interest groups. Now here there is a dissimilarity between India and United States if you take these two case studies, because in India we have different pressure and interest groups in the forms of NGOs and let's say unions, or let's say you see auto union are there, bus strikes happen because bus drivers have union. Recently we also saw uh, doctors coming on a strike, which is very weird because Supreme Court has dictated that bhaiya doctors you should not hold a strike ever, even in the worst of the circumstances, because it is not such a profession, right? But in United States what happens is there is a legal way of putting pressure. There is a lobby system there. Now we also have lobby, but here the lobbies are not very much legal. Okay, so lobby, what do they do is basically they are power brokers. They tend to break power. How? Let's say you have to get this thing done, and this is the government currently, and these are the people that have interest over this project. Now what they will do is they will form a lobby. Let's say currently we see telecom sector is facing issue. Who are the players? Let's say Geo, Vodafone, and Airtel. Now Vodafone and Airtel, obviously their balance sheet is totally filled with debt. Geo being new is not holding that much amount of debt, and it will be debt free around in March next year. Sorry, this year, March 2020. And they were supposed to pay a lakh of crore of rupees to Indian government over some penalties and over, let's say, the model that they got. Instead of getting the license fee, what they had was revenue sharing model, and that revenue sharing model got interpreted in such a way that all the revenues, not only just your carrier charges, all the revenue, whether you are selling handset or anything, are to be calculated. Now obviously they won't be able to function if they gave 1 lakh crore rupees to the government. So they created a, let's say, lobby. They put pressure कि भैया we won't be able to survive, then Geo will be only there, it will have a monopoly over the market, right? And hence they were exempted कि भैया okay, you keep running how you are running, and you return us the money which you owe us in 2 years of time. You take that much of time. Okay. Now, pluralist is more like a balanced view. It is not saying that there is no elite. There are elites, but not all the powers are with elites. Some power rests with pressure and interest groups also. With that said, let's try to understand. See, when we talk about power, you have to understand the other words also. Let's say when we talked about hegemony, when we were talking about Gramsci, hegemony, what is hegemony? Hegemony is nothing but power. The words differ. For Hannah Arendt, what is power? When people act in concert. When people act in concert, or let's say when people participate in politics, they are exercising power. Now, when we talk about legitimacy, this is a liberal word. Hegemony will be a Marxist word. So, Marxist, if I am a Marxist, let's say I am Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose. So, I will be using the term hegemony. Hegemony. Bhaiya, they have control over my mind and they have made me think that I want this, whatever I'm doing. These are all same terms. The viewpoint is different. Here it is like silent weapon being used, and because it is silent, there will be no resistance. It is in mind control tactic, hegemony. Meanwhile, legitimacy, you get legitimacy. Let's say if you have elections, you get legitimacy. It is like, how come you say that Bhaiya Modi is the PM? Bhaiya, he got elected. Elections give legitimacy. Then authority. And when we talk about authority, authority will unite everything. See, before coming to authority, let's go over the word power and politics and their relation. So, what we can say, see, in mathematics, how you do equations A plus B equals C, right? It means that A minus C equals to negative B. Both are true, but different equations. Similarly, we are going to define politics in terms of power. And how do we do that? We say, कि भैया, politics nothing but the art of shaping and sharing of power. And this is very much true. How do you share and shape power? That is why you have politics. So, what is power? Power is your decision making, or let's say agenda setting. Agenda setting $5 trillion economy by 2023 or 4, whatever it is. Agenda has been set. Who set it? Modi did. How did he do that? Because he is in command of power. So he exercises power to set the agenda. Decision making, similarly, decision making, and also the thought control process. And when we go under the ambit of thought control process, this will be little bit of Marxism here. We talk in terms of hegemony, or then again interpellation. Interpellation is nothing but same hegemony concept. And the discourse, like Hitler saying that Bhaiya, we are Aryans, and because we are Aryans, we are the fittest. And what did Darwin say? Darwin said some survival of the fittest. So what we need? We need more space. More space for what? For Aryans. So that what can happen? So that we can live more freely and we can have more space to develop ourselves fully. Okay. So when we discuss these theories, we have to always keep in mind, see what is the core feature of power, that it is always exercised. Now, what question comes in our mind automatically is, who will be exercising? What will be the medium or means of exercising that power, and how do you exercise that power? It has been often said that real ruler never reveals themselves, so you will never know who the real ruler is. Modi may seem like he's the real ruler, but you will never know who the real ruler is. And this is what power is all about. जो चाहते हो वो भी जाए, किसी को पता भी नहीं चले. Why? Because when you are hidden, nobody can resist you, nobody can attack you, nobody can dismantle your means. Coming to pluralist theory, now obviously Robert Dahl will give it in context of C.W. Mills. Now C.W. Mills, if you have not read till now, leave it. We will do it in democracy, theory of democracies. So ideally I was supposed to do democracies just after state, but then again this will do. Okay. So C.W. Mills, what he tried to do was he wanted to understand how United States of America and how इसमें liberalism is working. He wanted to understand कि भैया how is it working in United States of America, and is it even real liberalism or not. He wanted to understand the nature. Now understand, Robert Dahl is not at all countering C.W. Mills. He is not doing that. He is not doing that because understand what Mill suggested was that bhai, power in United States is with elites. Now for C.W. Mill, all the power was with elites, and for him, who were the elites? Understand, the top people of the key institutions, top people of key institution. Let's say you are CEO of Google, or you are Bill Gates, CEO of Microsoft, or let's say you have some defense industry and you are top CEO of that. So top manager, top management bodies. Robert Dell said that by nahi, entire power is not with elites, not entire power. Some, yes, but entire, no, entire is not with elites, because interest groups are there, unions are there, they are also powerful, right? So he's not rejecting the view of Mill, he's just, let's say, giving some value added points, he's giving some additions. He, let's say, he's just amending the view, more holistic he's trying to do it. Elite's version of power, if you think about it, they say कि भाई obviously elites are in control of the power, but they are not exercising power on our day-to-day life decisions. I want to buy, let's say, kurkure, or I want to buy a packet of Lays or some cold drink Pepsi. These kind of decisions are not taken or let's say influenced by elites. They take rare of the rare decisions. Let's say when you are bombing Hiroshima, these kinds of exceptional situations will be taken, these decisions will be taken by these elites, because understand what was power all about: agenda setting, decision making, thought control process. What you see on television, earlier cases were not very popular, the censor board will restrict them, cut them, delete them. Now you get full on nudes. It is all okay now somehow. So the thought control process is getting changed because the people in command of power are getting changed, replaced. They exercise power according to what their understandings are, right? Now, when we talk of pluralist, for them, obviously, the distribution of power will be very wide. It will not be as narrow as the elitists think. For elitists, all the power are lying with only few elites, few managers, CEOs of the top key institutional institutions. But obviously, this is not the case, right? Now, If you want to think of United States of America as your key in, let's say, state, then you can say rule of few, that is oligarchy, rule of many, that is polyarchy. Rule of few. Now, who do you think power is lying with in United States of America? Can you say that United States of America में there is a rule of many, that is power lying with many of the people? Many means कि भैया Clintons also having power, Bush is also having power. Then there are a lot of NGOs, let's say Amnesty International, or let's say other groups, World Health Organization, UNESCO, unions, lobbies, all amounting to some level of power. That makes perfectly sensible to me, to you also as well, I hope. So USA is a polyarchy or oligarchy, rule of few, only few people running the whole country. No, because when we talk about the groups, the interest groups, understand there could be millions of people in it. Even a small trading organization, let's say if in Chavri Bazaar you go and you see paper paper federations, they have lakhs of people in all over India. Now, combining them together and collectively, they can put a lot of pressure on government, just like we saw happen with manufacturing industry or automotive industry, right? They got corporate taxes reduced down 22%, 15% if you are a new manufacturing institution, right? So you cannot say that United States is a rule of few. Many, sure, but when we say many, we do not mean all. What is the liberal value? Power lying with people. When we say people, do we mean some kind of people? No, we mean all people. What does that make it? It makes it a democracy. So, can we say in United States power is with lying with all the peoples, the blacks of the USA, the women black of the USA, the Pakistanis of the USA, the Pakistani immigrant, the Mexicans of the USA? So it is not like that. But hence, again, on implementation you might be polyarchy, but then again what we can do is we can change the definition of democracy. So when we say which country is democratic, understand one thing: we talk about democracy only in very vague term, and not even vague term, only in procedural terms. इलेक्शन हुआ है, हाँ हुआ है. इंडिपेंडेंट इलेक्शन था, जी हाँ इंडिपेंडेंट था, तो ठीक है डेमोक्रेसी. दैट्स इट. Understanding again one thing: when we talk about all, it is a very extreme end. When we talk about few, it is also extreme, which is the balanced between the two, many. So it is a good thing, I hope, according to Robert Dahl. Robert Dahl initially had the position that bhai, the distribution of power is very very wide, and when he said that distribution of power is wide, for him the distribution was even, like the government also having equal power, same power as this NGO having, same as this, let's say Reliance having, and same as this another, let's say Kurkure company having, which is always not the case, because obviously some groups will be more powerful than the other. Some corporate groups will be more powerful than all the others. Like let's say your defense, those corporate groups though that are creating, let's say, missiles, guns, now they will have more power at their hand. ठीक है, so fair distribution or even distribution is not the case. And Robert Dahl revised his position later on. So pictographically, if you want to understand, as simple as that, in pluralist, the power, the distribution of power is here also uneven, but at least it is wide, wide distribution of power. So someone is getting more power. This group, let's say this is a defense industry. Some group, let's say this is coke industry, or let's say digital industry, your Google or Facebook. Then there are other groups, housing industry, banks, worker unions. For Marxists, if you want to put in comparison, power is lying with only few. Who are these few? Capitalists. That is owning the mode of production. They are amounting all the power with them. These are powerless workers, right? So Gramsci's theory of power, that is hegemony only. So I think I have done that. Hannah's theory of power also I have done that while I was doing Hannah Arendt. That is when people act in cohort, not cohort, concert. एक साथ, when people are engaged in the politics, they are exercising nothing but power. Okay. Now, see, in whole of the political science, there will only be one law. One. This is called iron law of oligarchy. Now, understand this thing. We have never discussed any law. Theories, yes. But the only law in the whole of political science that you are going to come about is this iron law of oligarchy. And this comes under the ambit of elitist theories of power. Here we have to understand the context first. The context is Marx's challenge. And what is that challenge? The challenge is that, see, revolution is not happening. Revolution is not coming. Why is not? Why isn't it coming? Because obviously the liberal world has adopted some social values, some social work they are trying to do. They are trying to enhance and incorporate socio-economic status of their citizens. Now that is obviously a temporary solution. But understand this thing, who will be implementing or exercising power? Elites. And who are elites? Just think of leaders. When we say leaders, leaders can be your political leaders. Leader can be a leader of pressure groups, let's say union leader, or let's say leader who is a capitalist, who is a businessman, who is a CEO. They are nothing but leader of the workers. So leaders. Now in this we can come about the two approaches, that is the traditional and modern. Just like in your modern history, you go about traditionalist in Congress and later the modern, not really the exact words, but you get the idea. So when we go for traditionalist, understand Plato. Now Plato was talking about only one man elite, philosopher king. Who was this guy? One guy dictating the whole Greece. This was his vision, Plato's vision. Then when we talk about Aristotle, he was a very balanced guy, and he's talked about कि भाई, let's have few people, have a senate, let them run the society. To them, society was state. What he was talking about was nobles and family of the king, or let's say the leader. So he was talking about aristocracy. Same with Machiavelli. Even their theories that some are born to be masters, or let's say man of gold, your soul will decide. Soul has three components: courage, appetite, and reason. So if you are having more reason, then your soul is fit to be master, right? When we talk about modern versions, we see C.W. Mills, Robert Michaels, Mosca, Pareto, and for us, these two are very much important. Now, what they emphasize upon is MBA. Just remember like this: strong organizational skill, that you can be born a poor, but if you study hard and you go to work, one day you will become the CEO like Satya Nadella. And when that will happen, you will be in power. You will get to exercise power. Now, Satya Nadella can say, कि I am launching a new kind of Android, or let's say new UPI payment gateway, let's say Google Pay. He can do that or not? He can. He does. Talking about the other guy, Pareto, for him, the power will be a circulating thing. Now, understand. For him, there are on one side foxes and on other side lions. Think of it like Democrats and Republicans, or BJP and Congress, and the power will be circulating among the two. And these two sides, both sides will be elites. Iron law of oligarchy. Understand? United States of America. Democracy, sure. Polyarchy, ideal. But what is reality? Reality is oligarchy. Now, understand, when we talk of oligarchy, we are talking in elitist sense. When we are talking in polyarchy, we are taking into account what thing? We are taking into account that there are pressure groups also, there are NGOs also, there are interest groups also, and they also have commendable power. So when we talk of pluralist, we have to emphasize upon polyarchy. But what is the reality? Reality is always oligarchy. And why I'm saying this is the reality, although it is a elitist term, because this is the iron law. Whatever be the system, whatever be the structure, whatever be the state, whatever be it, whether you say you are democratic, or whether you say you're communist, or whether you say anything you say, power will always be in the hands of very few people. Even in China, if it is communist, understand the top party workers will be in command of the power. If that is clear. Now, it does not mean always necessarily that only there are two boxes, A and B. Power circulates among the two, but there are times when new power blocks or new elites will get born. 1960s Samajwadi Party, because at that time OBC block was getting, let's say, coming in forefront. Then 90s may SCs, BSP, a new power block, a new elite. So power will start shifting, circulating among all these. So it is not like A and B and power is shifting among the two. It is like A, B, C, D, and power will shift among all these. Now understand, because power is only one thing and there are multiple players who want to command this power, there will be going to be a tough competition to get this power. Aam Aadmi Party, alternate politics, 2012. So these are the times when the rise. So whether you call Aam Aadmi Party being a public movement coming from the corruption movement, that time Lokpal movement, ideally it should feel like Aam Aadmi Party, that Power is lying with the people, but yet we know power is lying with only one person, Kejriwal. He will take all the party decisions, all the policy decisions, right? Now, who will emphasize upon this MBA? So that will be Mosca, MBA, Mosca. Organizational skill. That is the governing class or governed class. There are only two. One section is governing class, another section is governed class. Now, how to be governing class? You get better organizational skills. The only law in political science, iron law of oligarchy. Whether you talk about West, because he did the analysis on both the societies, West or East. Whether you are liberal or let's say you are Oriental, it does not matter much. Whatever be the ideology that you adhere to, whatever be the political system, power will be in the hands of few. So power has some kind of similarity with money because they both tend to get concentrated. They tend to get concentrated in the hands of few only. Now, C.W. Mill, obviously, he does give a market model of democracy. Now, market model of democracy is more like procedural. We will go over this when we do democracy or models of democracy. But you have to understand this word, market model of democracy. It is all about procedural democracy. That is very on paper or let's say legalistic sense. Procedure is legal. What is the law? What is the rule? What is the procedure to be followed? Then there is a concept of power elites. Understand what is power elites. Okay, I thought I have did this, but okay, maybe I have not. The head of the key institutions, which I think I have mentioned before. Power elites, according to Mill, let's say there is company Microsoft, then there is Google, then there is let's say Boeing. So who becomes the power elite? The owners of these companies, the CEOs. Now they will have commendable power with them. Now they are the power elites. Now they will tell the government what they want, and government will have to ensure कि भैया their demand are done properly. Otherwise, what will happen is, see, they can any day start laying off people who works there. Let's say they start laying off 10,000 people. So understand these 10,000 people means their family of four, so 50,000. So 1.5 lakh people will be affected directly, and who are they going to call to rescue? Government. And next time in elections they will lose. As simple as that, politics. So it is in their favor also. In their favor also. Okay. Now rotation will happen if you lion and foxes A and B. So understand power will start rotating. For sometimes it will be between, let's say the example of Pakistan also. आर्मी के पास पावर है, फिर पीपल के पास पावर है. People say, I mean, very rich, these sharifs, they are billionaires. Or let's say the Bhuttos, they are the billionaire people, elites. Either the top generals amassing power, elites amassing power, it will keep on shifting. Now, understand power elites were not always present in United States of America because see, C.W. Mills analyzed United States of America only. So, power elites is not that power elites were always present in United States of America. They started getting accumulated and concentrated with power only after the United States ka Civil War. Before that, there was a time when democracy was actually with people. Power was actually with people. Talking about democracy and its procedural aspect, फ्री इलेक्शन हो रहा है, फेयर इलेक्शन हो रहा है, डेमोक्रेसी है, दैट्स इट. Because otherwise, what democracy means is power with people. This does not happen. It is totally a myth. Otherwise, why would farmer, if he is in command of state, if he is the one who is making the decision, why would he be always facing trouble and issue? He won't be, right? So only few people are there, top 1%, having all the power. They among them circulate power. They make sure कि भैया all the people downstairs are made happy sometimes. Let's say this is the corporate guy and he knows that bhaiya he is not making profit, because of which he will have to lay over all these people. Now to make sure these people do not start destroying everything and doing revolution, he will put pressure on who is having power. Let's say this Modi is having power on Nirmala Sitaraman. Then they will say कि भैया do something, and what they will do is they will cut taxes. They will say कि चलो आज से corporate tax only 22%. Because of this they will save a lot of money, because otherwise 30% was the tax. So 8% जो पैसा they are going to save from that money, they will retain these people. And because of this, these people won't put aggressive protest against the government. As simple as that. Because anyhow one day the government needs to shift, change hands, right? It has to be circulated. With that said, market model also, I hope I have. Market model, you can understand like this, that the manifesto, see, what is market model if nothing else but parties will act like companies. This is party A, this is political party B, let's say this is BJP, and let's say this is Congress, and these are all the people of the India. Now what they are doing is, the currency is vote. I give you vote. What do I get? I get manifesto. Now you have one manifesto A, you have another manifesto B. काफी कुछ इसमें बकवास लिखा है, काफी कुछ इसमें बकवास लिखा है. नाउ आई हैव टू चूज के भैया मुझे किसका अच्छा लगा. Who do I prefer? I can purchase it by giving my vote. So technically market model, because here we are talking about a product. And what is the product? Manifesto is the product. जिसका प्रोडक्ट अच्छा लग जाएगा वो तुम वोट देके खरीद लो. लास्ट में पता चलेगा कौन सा मिला. सो व्हाट सिटीजन्स आर नथिंग बट कस्टमर्स. ओहो, जम्मू एंड कश्मीर मिलेगा, वाह वाह वाह. ओहो, सिटीजनशिप करोगे, एनआरसी लाओगे, वाह वाह वाह. ला दो ला दो ला दो. खरीद लिया खरीद लिया खरीद लिया. दैट्स इट. डन. अच्छे दिन आएंगे, जॉब मिलेगी, इकोनॉमी बढ़ेगी. गुड गुड गुड. लाओ लाओ लाओ. खरीद लिया. दैट्स इट. मार्केट मॉडल. Then there comes a concept of monolithic elite. Now mono means one. Mono means one. Now understand, this is a concept of socialist country. Let's say the example of China. So there is only one party, Communist Party. So it is not like it is the only party there. There are other parties also, but this is the biggest size party that there is. Other parties are like of this size. Party A, B, C. And when they compete, it does not matter because this party is going to win. Now, even this party or this system, socialist system, can be declared as democratic. Now, question is how? Let's assume that inside the party, let's say this is a party structure, that this is the chairman of the party, this is vice chairman of the party, two vice chairmen, and this is the board. Okay, and this is the General Council, this is the Defense Council. Now, assume if all these positions are also filled inside the party democratically. If they are filled democratically inside, everyone gets inside at the position by voting, then it can also come under the ambit of democratic. So, even a socialist country can be a democratic country. China is not, okay, but Russia comes under the ambit of democratic country. Is it? No. But does it come under the procedural aspect of democracy? Yes. Now, here, if we talk about United States, it is not very far. Republican and Democrats. Republican are on sides of, let's say, BJP. They are quite right wing. They are very much conservative, let's say. Conservative. They want to stay on the path that they are on. Or let's say to retain the values, the American values, or let's say the Hindu values, Indian values. Similarly, the Democrats are more like liberals. They want freedom of everything. They are on a side of the spectrum, political spectrum. But when we compare that with China, at least United States has choice. दो ही सही है तो सही. At least there is a choice. Choice is always better. Choice is always preferable. ठीक है. Efficient always will be China because the decisions will be taken more quicker. But then again, the chances of those decisions to be bad is more in China than United States of America. If that makes any sense. So I rest here today with power. Next time also we continue with power.